Welcome to the Tour de Zwift Stage 3 group run on January 21st, 2020. We're about ready to get started here. I think there are around 150 runners, so we have a pretty decent sized crowd. And this time it's not going to be on the track, and we have a defined group, so it'll be a little bit easier to follow. I did see Rebecca Ward warming up on the track about a half hour before the start. And we're about ready to get launched here. 10 seconds to get out of the gate. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And they're off. Okay, let's cycle through everyone and get to the front of the pack here to see who's leading. And this is going to take a minute. It's interesting, it's almost like a real race. You see a few people walking at the back, they haven't started yet, and we're funneling through the crowd. All kinds of different paces here at the beginning. So that can be deceptive. You can have someone starting out at like 7-minute pace, and then they accelerate to a 4-minute pace just 10 or 15 seconds in and just fly through all the other runners. Alright, we're in 32nd position, 31st, 24th. Got to be a quicker way to scroll up here, and here he is. And I apologize if I get the pronunciation of the names wrong. This is Kloster, who is from Germany, and he is, wow, 3:16 pace, already got a 10-second gap at a cadence of 165 steps, and we do not have a heart rate. So if he keeps this up, he's going to be out there all alone. Let's see. So we have Maselli in second from Italy, Tams in third, Huber in fourth, and Wilson in fifth place. And Corcoran, who posted something on the Facebook page, is in sixth place. All right. And Kloster's pace is changing quite a bit, so he might be wearing a foot pod. And he's now 23 seconds ahead. Wow, okay. He's probably going to end up about 2 minutes ahead of everyone else if he sustains his pace. So this is probably going to be a battle for second or third place. We have a little bit of a pack forming there, although yeah, the next 10 runners are quite close. But I expect they'll start breaking up into smaller packs pretty soon. Okay, Kloster. Beautiful scenery. Looks like we're in Switzerland. I don't think I've run on this map. So Kloster still flying ahead. And now I'm going to go over to Naselli, who's got a 2-second gap on Tams. Oh, we have a heart rate on this, so 155. That's good. Okay, so he probably has something in the tank. Slightly faster cadence at 171 steps per minute and running at around 3:38 pace. Now you never know with the virtual runs who's going to sneak up behind you, so you need to watch all these people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Becca Ward, who I believe is the first female, is in 9th place right now. And yeah, talking about somebody sneaking up, I see Randall in 11th place with 3:51 pace, and he's starting to move up. Naselli is still in second with a gap of 4 seconds now, and let's see if he can hold that. And it looks like everyone's kind of holding their pace right now, so we'll see what happens. Just gave an encouragement to Corcoran, who's in 6th place. Let's see if he can place in the top 5. Naselli is now about 5 seconds ahead of third place. Tams from Germany, Huber from Switzerland in fourth, and Wilson in fifth place. And I'm sorry, Cluster, I can't talk too much about you. You're so far ahead of everyone else. There's a little bit less of a story there in terms of competing head-to-head. So I'm going to take a look at the second and third place finishers. And right now, Naselli is 6 seconds ahead of Tams. And Huber in fourth place is starting to close in. So this is getting interesting. We'll see if anyone responds. And I see at the bottom of my screen Darren Vandit, who is, well, picking up the pace. So he's going to be in the top 10 pretty soon. Oops, hit the wrong button there. Sorry about that. No, not back. Okay, there we go. All right. Naselli with an 8-second gap. So it's starting to spread, but Huber is coming up. He's only 4 seconds behind Tams now. And Wilson and Corcoran only 2 seconds apart. Really, all these runners are pretty close right now, other than, of course, our first place person who's already a minute ahead. Naselli now 10 seconds ahead, but Huber is picking up the pace. He's only 4 seconds behind the third place Tams now and closing in. If Tams doesn't respond, he's going to be right behind Naselli. Or if I were to say it with an Italian accent, Naselli. I'm actually, I lived in Italy for quite a while. Yep, so Closter's pace is changing quite a bit. I'm seeing it jump up and down between about 3:05 and 3:30. So I'm guessing he probably has a foot pod. Yeah, and as I'm commenting in text here, he's running alone, and it's very difficult to do that. I've never been first in a race. I was second once. I mean, there's no one to chase. You're just out there, and it's a little bit scary too because, you know, you don't know if someone's coming up behind you. Of course, with this kind of lead and running virtually, you know exactly where the competition is. So Huber only 1 second behind Tams now, closing in, and Naselli has a 13-second gap on him. So we're going to see the order change. Oh, and Rebecca Owen is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6th place. She is moving up. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's not Becca Ward. I don't know what the B stands for. Sorry about that. Michael Hassa on the bottom of the screen. He's a regular, usually runs with Stephen Cousins. Darren Bandit moving up. Wilson just moved up into 5th place, and Huber is now right behind Naselli. 13-second gap. Just a shout out to some of the other runners on my screen. B. Owen, K. Headley, Becca Ward, of course, W. Zahner, Van Dant, and Hasse. So Naselli now 12 seconds ahead of Huber. But Huber is running at about the same pace as he is. focus on Randall here. 169 steps per minute, 349 pace. So a little slower than the 180, 185 cadence that I saw in the first event that I recorded for most of these runners. Naselli is slowed down a little, and Huber is still running the same pace, so he's starting to close that gap. They're only 9 seconds apart now. And Kloster is over 2 minutes. Well, no, about a minute and a half ahead now. Seven seconds between Naselli and Huber. Alright, Naselli slowing down a bit. Touched 4 minutes per kilometer briefly. So he's pulling back. It's not that Huber is accelerating. And Tam's in 4th place behind him, and followed by Randall. So a bit of a gap there between the 3rd and 4th runners. 14 seconds, then another gap between 4th and 5th of 24 seconds. Focusing back on Huber, and you can see what he's looking at. Naselli right in front of him, only 5 seconds. It would be pretty neat if the avatars could turn their heads around to see if someone was following them. 4-second gap now, so this is going to be very interesting. And Tams is kind of running on his own a little bit. Oh, Darren Vandit is now in 7th place, so he is started out slow and doing what some people call a progression run. Yeah, 320, 315 pace. He's moving up. He just moved up another position. And Huber's only 2 seconds away from Naselli. There they are, kicking up dust. So it must be looks like a pretty humid venue. I mean, you're running through a jungle, but the road is dry. Huber, 166 beats per minute, and 173 cadence, so working it, definitely. And they're neck and neck now. And there they are. So Naselli is the one with the beard, and Huber passes him. So this is the big question. Is Naselli going to hang on, or is he going to let him go? It's really dangerous in a race to let someone go too far. I mean, I know some runners are confident they can really kick at the end, but you have no idea what the other runner is capable of either. So it's best not to fall too far behind if you are intent on passing them. Ham still in 4th, Randall in 5th, and Darren Vandit in 6th place. Closing in a little bit. We'll see if he gets into 5th. So we still have, from Kloster's perspective, 1.8 kilometers to go, a little bit over a mile. And Huber's now 3 seconds ahead of Naselli. So let's see if this gap expands or if Naselli holds on. .331 for Huber, 165 beats per minute, and 171 steps. So pretty steady. And Naselli's now 4 seconds behind, but he's picking the pace up. 3:19, 3:20. He's not going to let go. Very interesting. This is going to be quite a race. I love these kinds of finishes. There have been cases, I think, in marathons with elite runners where you've seen two runners just going at it, where they exchange the lead sometimes 2 or 3 times. So Naselli has brought the gap down to 2 seconds from 4, and he looks pretty determined. It's amazing. It's only 2 seconds, but look at the distance on the screen. Yep, Klosser is now about 2 minutes ahead. He's definitely got a lock on this one for first place. Yep. So, 3 second gap now between Huber and Naselli. Tams 34 seconds behind Naselli, and Randall 10 seconds behind, and then Darren, who is lurking there in 6th place, and if he's doing a progression run, he might overtake Randall. Yeah, he's running slightly faster, so he's probably going to catch him. Alright, 2 second lead for Huber. Naselli's hanging on. And there's Klosser, just flying down that road. So we know that Naselli's going to be able to hang on at this pace. The question is if he attempts to pass Huber, will Huber respond? Yep, Becker Ward in 10th place. And I guess the goal of these runs too, if you're running trying to place, is to you know, move up positions as it gets towards the end. So back to Huber, 167 beats per minute, 168 steps. And maintaining that gap of 3 seconds, so somebody's going to make a move here. We only have about a kilometer to go. And Randall and Tams are now only separated by 2 seconds. So there's going to be shuffling around in 4th and 5th position, with Darren Vandit closing the gap to 10 seconds from 5th place. Oh yeah, he's going to move up. The gap's already 8 seconds. Yeah, he's closing in fast. I think Tams is dropping off a bit. 1 second gap between Huber and Naselli. Almost, well, less than 800 meters to go. Alright, let's stay tuned for the kick here. Someone's going to be moving. 2 second gap. And Darren Vandit is even now with Tams and just moved into 5th place. About 13 seconds behind Randall, who is moving now. 3:12. Wow. Cluster is about done, and it's a little tricky following these runners because if they go through the finish line, I'm going to lose everyone. So I need to practice a little bit more on being able to stay. I can't always focus on the first runner if they get too close to the finish line. Okay. Huber and Naselli neck and neck. Here we go. Yep, Naselli is definitely making a move, and he's gone into the lead. Or, I'm sorry, he's not in the lead. It's very close. Okay, he is now. Here we go. Neck and neck. Is Huber going to respond? 300 meters to go. I'm watching Huber. No response yet. Heart rate is still the same. .200 meters. Naselli is speeding up. Looks like Huber's responding a little bit. And Naselli is breaking away. He's a second ahead now with 100 meters to go. 3 seconds ahead. Okay, he's got this. Unless Huber can run like Usain Bolt, he's not going to catch him. And Randall's 4th place and Bandit is 5th. 6, 7, 8, 9. Becca Ward is, I think, in 10th place. It looks like she just moved. Did she move up? She might have finished, she might be finishing 9th. Yep, I got kicked out. So, I'm watching Huber, but he already finished. Well, that was an excellent race. Very entertaining to watch. See if I can find anyone else here. Oh, Randall's finished as well. Okay. I do have the final place finishing. So it's Cluster in a time of 19:47, Naselli in 21:11. Huber in 21:16, so Naselli opened up a 5-second gap there. Randall in 4th place with 21:31, and Darren Bandit in 5th place with 21:42, and Rebecca Ward indeed came in 9th place with a time of 22:46. And remember, this is not a 5K, it's 5.7K. So 700 meters, that's around 3 or 4 minutes that you can take off that. Alright, thank you everybody for watching, and I'll be posting another one of these soon.